Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Jade Woodard, and I'm the Executive Director of Illuminate Colorado. Illuminate is a statewide nonprofit that strengthens families, organizations, and communities to prevent child maltreatment. Every year, we honor individuals and organizations for their work in supporting this collective mission. Joining us today is Kate Kennedy Reinemund, the Executive Director of Constellation Philanthropy and the recipient of the Catalytic Leadership Award. Our Catalytic Leadership Award honors an individual or organization that has invested or inspired philanthropic investment to accelerate the prevention of child maltreatment and strengthen families in Colorado. Thank you for being here today and for being willing to share about Constellation. Can you just go ahead and start by sharing a little bit about what is Constellation and what is the work that has been done?
Well, first of all, thank you for this opportunity. It's incredible to be here, and we're delighted. And I just want to say that the credit should not be on me personally, but just thinking about this model that's come together. So Constellation is a collaboration of families that have been investing together to support early childhood development programs across the state of Colorado. So we were founded in 2014, and our founder made the decision to come into early childhood as a focus area for his philanthropy. But he found that he had to set up 50 different coffee chats to be able to figure out how do you figure out this ecosystem and what the system looks like, how it fits into other systems, and it was quite confusing. And so he said, why don't we create a new model where peers can come together, learn with each other, figure out what's most important and where the greatest leverage points are across this ecosystem, and share in a pipeline of opportunities and due diligence. But at the same time, each member maintains independence of where they invest. So we've had an incredible amount of families that have come through, and we've been really excited to be able to have this at work for 7 years, supporting organizations across the early childhood ecosystem.
So what have you been most proud of over the last 7 years?
The beauty of this model is how we are just at the epicenter where we can see these incredible leaders across the ecosystem, and we can see how amazing these leaders are in being able to understand the client base, the families across the state of Colorado, and understand what the real needs are. And we're lucky to be able to have the ability to give those leaders the space and risk capital to test out new concepts and bring innovation to the space. And so that's what we're most proud of, is seeing all of these awesome innovations, awesome ideas that have been deployed in the ecosystem really grow and come to life, especially with a real focus on scale too. And we think about scale in 3 ways. So impacting policy, scaling up, growing out and thinking about increased capacity, and then also scaling deep with changing mindsets too. So seeing all of these incredible changes across the ecosystem through the work of our great leaders that we've supported has been really phenomenal.
So I've heard you mention innovation a couple of times. What does that mean to you?
Well, we think about innovation in a couple of different ways. So first and foremost, a lot of our members are coming from the tech space. They're business leaders, and so we're thinking about new products. And so that was actually one of the things we were really excited about working with Illuminate on, was the seating of a bus where you can be addressing the needs that you're seeing with the family members who are trying to get substance abuse treatment, and one of the biggest hurdles is not having childcare. So bring a bus over to provide that. So we would think of that as an awesome example of a new product solution, a new innovation in this space to really address a need. But at the same time, going through the last couple of years with COVID, we're also seeing the need for our leaders that we're supporting to have a more clear eye on how can they be serving their client base better? How can they be getting to their families with the real needs that they have? And so maybe it's not a new product, but maybe it's just a new way of thinking about how to reach those families. So turning it into more of a virtual product, for example, which has been incredible for reaching more families across the state for mental health, things like that. So we're expanding our look at what innovation looks like. And we are excited about supporting leaders and however they want to be taking on the idea of innovation in their own work.
Constellation has really shifted the landscape. It's really been a part of this change in how we as early childhood leaders are able to think about and access resources. And for that, we are really grateful.
Oh gosh, thank you for saying that, but we just feel incredibly honored to be a bridge. We're a bridge between the leaders in the space who know the client base so well, who know these families, know the needs, know the gaps in the systems, and know how to fix those, with those families who are around the state as well, who maybe have access to capital and don't know how best to be directing this. And so we're just delighted to be able to serve as a bridge between the folks who are interested in diving in with those individuals who are really, taking the lead and driving change and progress. So thank you for inviting us in to be a partner with you.
Thank you for building the bridge. So the early childhood ecosystem has changed a lot over the past 7 years. What are some of the biggest changes you've seen?
One of the biggest hopes that our founding group had was that we could be using our risk capital to test out new concepts, as we talked about with this innovation piece, and create proof points that could then be taken up with public funds. So finding ways to get to that sustainability conversation for anything that we're doing. Because private philanthropy can be great for taking new risk, but it can't solve every problem, and we do need smart public funds to come in to create that sustainability. And so that's been the beauty of the last couple of years, is being able to see the state, federal dollars being refocused, identify early childhood as a need for setting the foundation of a strong ecosystem and strong society. And so we're delighted to be able to, play a tiny, itty-bitty tiny little part in creating proof points that can then draw in these more sustainable dollars that we're seeing an increase over time. So we're really excited about that part.
Why did you all focus on early childhood?
It is the most important, biggest bang for your buck in philanthropy. It is a high return on investment. It is the foundation of society. It is critical from a 2-generation approach, if not more. If you don't have early childhood supports, then a family cannot function, a society cannot function. We need to be investing at the start to make sure that these kids have a really strong foundation to life, and that these families, these adults, also have the supports they need to be able to continue on with their own growth and development in their careers, in their family stability, in their relationships. It's just the key to everything across our society.
Yeah, we agree.
I thought so.
And I'm so excited to have you in this space. Looking forward, what are you excited about?
So Constellation is coming to a sunset at the end of this year. It has been 7 years of hard work. We've supported 74 projects. We are, knock on wood, will be hitting $7 million by the end of this year in cumulative funding to the leaders that we talked about across the space. Graduating 37 families through our program too. So we're so excited to have these families be fitted for their graduation robes, informed by all the important things that they need to know across early childhood, know and understand who the organizations are that are doing the great work, like Illuminate Colorado, and be ready to continue on that funding. So we're excited to set them up for success and carry on with each of those individuals in the work that they do in supporting the leaders.
That's wonderful. Well, we have found our partnership with Constellation to be really powerful. Just looking at how the work has been done in the community, the new model, the investment and engagement of private philanthropy in getting to test things, as you said. And we've just been so thankful to get to work with you and to recognize you and Constellation as our Catalytic Leadership Award recipients.
Thank you so much, Jade. We really appreciate it. Thanks for all the work that you do. It's an honor to be working with you.
Thank you, Kate.